For you, Mobibia Quaba, Nayam for Mega TV and platform with ESO. And they a Jumani, I near Dean El Ghana Hapa as a politician, a Jumani, I Dean El Ghana Hapa. I work NPP for or party no a communication and adding so Bokakotana TV so as NPP Communicator as NPP supporter na ube make you things clear and now bet me akeka nsema na so because enaba papa and all the things that you say no finally no ayemo ene kutiamo mo ya we say dollar at the 10 cedis less than what 6 months only 5 months MPP for NDC for bet for akondwe and even half a year cra dollar the 10 cedis. Anyway, how NPP Communicator be a disgrace in home on Good Morning Ghana show. So by trying to cover up and I say or try is obeying, obey defend each and Wontumi the case here obey and any issues surrounding it no or person or no Ghana for who say NDC for enomo and pecha my Wontumi asem. Yankote insenibi na utie NPP Communicator na obesere saa se enkofo we omuna de bi omuhihye kotu ne nam hanan ka be ya enka omuni yi na ensha atade na yi na yehu se sebi na school de yanko bi na wuko school ba na ye kan logical ye kan something logical na ubi wa no kan sembi se ya it is disrespect to your to your so-called certificate you gain. Anyway, yinti nseni bi yakoba betwa so yemfa credit ni ma Good Morning Ghana Metro TV ye bra muru atena na kondwa so yinti nseni bi yakoba betwa so.
The purpose of their meeting, when you read from the newspaper, expressly explained that they are going to hold the government accountable. They are going to check the government. They will make sure that the right thing is being done. But my brother, as you're in this country, the right thing is being done. If the right things are not done, we wouldn't see the improvement and then the growth of economy as at now that we are speaking. So it is their responsibility to do that.
Okay.
And then we welcome that idea because if they are not there to check the government, to put the government on its right path, leaving the government to do what the government wanted to do, then it means that the government can wake up tomorrow and say that I'm turning the whole Ghana down.
Okay.
But that is the reason why they are there. That is their focal work, that they should check the government and put them on toll.
Okay.
But we, as government, we are not afraid.
Right.
Because most of the times, their strategies that they come out with are propagandas. When they see the right thing, they turn it to be wrong. And when they see progress, they turn it to be retrogress. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And if that is the strategy they intend to bring, then I bet you, I must say that it will not help them.
Okay.
But I'm looking at it that they criticize, okay, on a rightful manner. Where they have to criticize, they criticize rightful manner. Where they have to make a suggestion, they do. Where they have to point to government that no, this thing is not going to help our nation, they do. But they shouldn't go and sit down that they've had their strategic meeting preceding to our second sitting, that when they come, they will attack the government unnecessary. Things that they shouldn't even attack the government, they will just attack the government in order to think that it will make them popular for Ghanaians to know. Remember, Ghanaians voted for them for 8 years on power, okay? And they've enjoyed that 8 years in power. They just left. Less than 5 months, they just left government. So anything strategic that will make Ghanaians to see that they are now coming to, exist. Rather, they forgot that they were existing long ago. We will not let Ghanaians buy their idea. But I am of the view that if they want to criticize, they criticize constructively so that we will all build the nation that we want. Yesterday I was at Adome FM, and then I told the host, Omahin, that, look, let me tell you something. When I was coming, my wife told me something, that now the 20-liter gallon of cooking oil that was sold for 800 to 900 has now dropped to 500 Ghana cedis. And I told him that, isn't it a good news? It affects you, it affects me, it affects anybody. It doesn't exonerate NPP, neither NDC, but it goes around all of us. So these are the good things that we wanted to see. So if you see that the government is doing well, I'm expecting minority to come and say that, no, the government is doing well. For this track ABC that you put measures in place, that is working, you are doing well. They shouldn't criticize like they intended to return to power or something of that sort. I think you get the point I'm raising. But we want to see them that haven't done this, and then they have their strategic meeting. It is a meeting that is going to promote the duties of parliament. It is a meeting that is going to enhance the parliamentary work to become more effectively. It is a meeting that will bring cohesion to the work of the parliament, so that in any time, any day, if they are criticizing the government, then we, the majority, can also know that what our brothers are saying is the right path. If left is not good, let's turn to the right. So that at the end of the day, we want to build Ghana, a Ghana that we want, a Ghana that our children will come and inherit in future, that will see that, hey, sometime, somewhere, someday, sometime, people that live, that they govern this country, have left a legacy. And that is the utmost focus of the President John Dramani Mahama. It's not anything. So I wish them well, that God has protected all of us throughout these races, and we are all returning without harm, without any injury. But I wish that when they get to Parliament, they criticize constructively, so that the work of Parliament will.
But I hope you had a good vacation.
Yes, of course.
A rest.
You know, how do you rest? Conscience on your neck. Conscience on your neck. Some of us, we couldn't finish our thank you tour.
Wow.
So we use all this while to do thank you tour. Because as you are in Parliament, calls are coming. Hey, after voting for you, we've not seen you. You've not come to thank us. So you have to do that. And it goes with money. So if you don't have money to, do that, you need to, step back a little and then see what's happened. So, you know, God has been faithful, and then He's good.
Okay.
Yes.
Ernest, you are not a member of Parliament, but
you will soon become. Don't worry. I'm praying for you.
God bless you.
You are also.
I am planning to. I'm lazy my boot.
You're listening. Yes. Okay.
I'm lazy my
now
boot.
revealing this matter to me. You've not told me.
I'm lazy my boot. I haven't said
but
this term or next term.
Ernest, he didn't see it, but I foresee that you are lazy your boot.
I see. So is it going to be obviously Greater Accra?
Possibly, yes.
Greater Accra.
I told you my mother is Gadangwe.
Okay.
You know that?
Yes, you mentioned that.
So I'm looking at that. Unfortunately, this is where we grew up. My father is Ashanti.
Yeah.
It would have been easier if I were an NPP candidate in the Ashanti region. But because we didn't stay there much, and until my father, since my father passed, I don't remember the last time I even passed through the place. So you think of, we are more here than there.
Okay.
But so it will be NDC candidate in Gandagwe.
No, I think I'm too far away from the NDC to get anywhere near them. I'd rather be an MPP candidate.
I think the point is making it will be easier to win a Greater Accra seat and an NDC.
Could be easier, my brother.
You realize that the Ga and the Dangwe areas are pretty
very
dominant.
strong. Yeah, NDC.
But it's
you intend to bring the jinx.
We have, you see, I remember Kwame Bartels won a seat here.
Yes.
Nana Kumia used to, and those seats are naturally MPP seats.
Yeah.
Few of them slipped, And I pray we are able to take them back.
South,
Adenta used to be swing
Central.
between NPP and DC. It's only this time that Ramadan has managed to work the miracle twice. And let's see what comes up.
All right.
Yeah.
So what are your expectations? Parliament is resuming today.
They reconvening is a good thing because there are a number of things that I believe the minority will want to point out to the government. And when they are sitting is better. I believe that really the NDC they are always saying that the minority are micro, and the minority is doing everything to prove to them that we are small, but we are what? Mighty. So the numbers here doesn't matter at all. The Bible is clear on this, that it's not about numbers. 300 people brought the wall of Jericho down. Right. So 88 will show Parliament that we are there to prove to the people of Ghana that we are superior in terms of knowledge, in terms of understanding of how governance work. Unfortunately, that's how they see it. They are saying you lost power, so go and sleep. And we are telling them that the people of Ghana need a very viable opposition to let the majority stand on their feet and stand properly. You see, they are making so many mistakes. They started too early. By the end of the third month, 90% of the things they promised they would do for the people of Ghana, they have relented on them. I'm saying 90%. I'm even being magnanimous. Let me tell you. They told the people of Ghana, you and I, we have an experience on this Galamsey issue. Yeah, Galamsey has worsened under them. But they made the people of Ghana think that our waters and everything have gone so bad that, in fact, His Excellency the President in opposition just said the gala will be gone. Is that not it? Yeah, he used the word gala for me to hear. He mentioned the water will be clean. And they are doing exactly the same things that were done by the previous administration. We had the water guards. We called them river guards. They came and they called them blue water guards. Same thing, same recruitment. You sent military man with a gun, and the party chairman held his neck and wanted to give him a showdown. And then you are sending some slim macho boys, SS boys. So this one is just some job for the boys. Give them some 2,000 at the end of the month to go and eat, and you would have solved some problem. You understand? I mean, the day I heard the minister, that minister's press conference where he declared a day of mourning for Ghana, and he led by crying himself, and he mentioned that Akunta Mining had done this and that, then I became suspicious. I was worried, especially about Galamsey. I was worried because if you are telling me that Akunta Mining did not have a license, I believe this topic will come up. I was worried, I was confused. Then the minister himself, who should have given certain orders, maybe push the military to go and do something, was sitting down weeping. What will Moro and I do? And my brother, what can you do? But the minister could have called his colleague, the defense minister, the interior minister, let's have an immediate meeting, let's take action. No show. Right? The next thing, they promised the people, they said they are going to reset the things that happened that were bad. That's why I'm saying about 90% of the things they said in opposition are still outstanding. On the same Galamsey, he promised that he was going to arrest the kingpins. I haven't seen any kingpin under arrest. The promises he couldn't meet. As for Galamsey, total failure, 0 over 100. You come to this, his issue of resetting. And you said Ayawaso West Wagon was a disaster. People went in masks and those things. So you were coming to reset it. Do it better. Reset, in my opinion, means that you are going to erase all the bad things. If I want to reset my phones, I'm taking it back to factory settings, right? And now, every morning somebody appears in somebody's house wearing nika, shorts and chaliwati and things with their AK-47. We thought that was the end. Adenta Kumi's house. Wontumi's house. I was shocked yesterday when Wontumi was coming out on bail. And he said he was asked 2 questions. Do you do Galamsey? He said, no, I have a license. Akunta Mining is properly registered and have a license. Are you mining in the forest? So that is why we send policemen with AK-47s, pickup full, and all that to his house, just to ask him whether he does galamsey. So you see, the things that you spoke about, I remember, and they are making some of us revise our notes because the day when Ayawaso West Wagon happened, I was on TV. And I condemned it so bad because I felt that it was wrong. I was on our Go TV. Anybody can go and check. Condemned it. We couldn't have done that, even though we knew that the NDC had wanted to do something. Most of us said use the police. So we thought you have come to reset that. Now every morning we see people in the same style in people's homes. I don't get it. So the minority in parliament have so many things. I want them to ask the Honorable Jinapo about containers too. We will come there too.
That's our next topic, actually.
That's
our next topic, yes.
Yeah. So when we get there, I will tell you why I believe the minority in their strategy will be asking certain questions. I'll tell you. We'll get there.
All right. So let's start. In fact, he's taking the wind out of my sails, but that's our next topic.
This is an intro. Executive summary.
I get it. Executive summary. So 2,637 ECG containers retrieved. Timothy Goba is reporting that the Ministry of Energy has retrieved 2,637 containers belonging to the Electricity Company of Ghana, twice the number of containers presumed to have gone missing with their contents. In an exclusive interview with the Daily Graphic in Accra yesterday, the spokesperson for the ministry, Richmond Roxon, said the committee investigating the 1,300 containers said to be unaccounted for rather discovered 2,637 containers at the port of Tema consigned to the ECG, a number far above the initial missing items. He said, as of April 30, 2025, ECG had 2,583 outstanding containers at various locations. Mr. Roxon said 860 of the containers were found at Meridian Port Services, 1,237 at GPHA terminals, while 272 were evacuated by national security personnel. He added that 194 were located at the Amaris terminal, while 20 were retrieved at Atlas Manufacturing Terminal. Now, the Daily Graphic then goes ahead to give us a bit of a background. It says, in March this year, during an official interaction with the Minister of Energy and Green Transition, John Abdullahi Jinapo, and the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, the power distributor, claimed to have 2,491 uncleared containers. So this is the catch. Initially, ECG said they had 2,491. Now, let's compare this number to what has now been, retrieved. Okay. So clearly what has been received is it's way more than what was declared by ECG. Now, 2,491 uncleared containers filled with cables and other essential equipment at the Tema Port. The minister subsequently set up a committee chaired by Professor Innocent Senyo Akwa to investigate the claims. The committee found out that while ECG claimed to have 2,491 uncleared containers filled with cables and other essential equipment, an independent audit at the port found only 1,134 containers, leaving 1,357 missing. Okay. So Mr. Jinapo expressed concern about the situation and assured the public that it will be investigated. Now, the over 1,300 containers cannot vanish into thin air. We'll ensure those responsible are held accountable. Thereafter, the minister set up a committee made up of the National Security, the Ministry of Transport, GPHA, and Customs to investigate the ECG's containers that could not be accounted for. Now, Mr. Roxon said further analysis showed that 2,437 containers surpassed the 60-day clearance window and were classified as uncleared cargo list, which is UCL in short, with 41 verified lists cleared from the port, leaving 2,583 containers. He said delays in clearing those containers resulted in excessive port charges. Mr. Roxon said ECG and port authorities would engage on the roadmap for outstanding payments. The spokesperson for the ministry said the Chief of Staff, Julius Zebra, had directed that all retrieved containers should be evacuated immediately to ECG safe warehouse. According to the directive, inventory must be taken to ensure all materials are accounted for. He said the Energy Minister recognized that the challenges resulted from the procurement method used by ECG where items were consigned to the company without clearing them. Consequently, he said Mr. Jinapo had directed that ECG should depart from the method of procurement. Suppliers must clear and deliver to ECG any item procured. The minister had further directed ECG to suspend all non-essential equipment procurement pending the review of its procurement policies. Now, Mr. Roxing disclosed that the former managing director of ECG, Dubik Mahama, had been invited by the security agencies and the caution statement taken. Some ECG staff have been asked to step aside due to the investigations. Mr. Roxon said the Office of Attorney General would advise on the way forward. Now, a couple of things are missing in the story. One, who were the guys responsible for this? Or if there was nobody who was really responsible for hiding or for hiding the containers, more or less, does it mean that perhaps the energy minister was misled with the numbers that he was given in the beginning? Remember that he took a report from ECG and said it in Parliament and gave a certain number. Yes. He followed up and went to the port himself and got a different number. And they said, look, the two numbers do not, there's some discrepancies. And so let me commission an investigative body to look into the numbers and to sort of audit it. Now, the investigative body or the committee is done with its work. And now we're finding out that apparently the 2,491 containers that were supposed to have been handed over to John Jinapor as the sector minister, there's actually even more. Okay, so I want to know what accounts for instance, the difference in the numbers. That's number one. Number two, who were the guys who gave out the wrong information to the sector minister? And what have we done with those people? Because quite clearly, I don't see from this story a case of plain thievery per se, as we initially were suspecting. Initially we thought some people have stolen the containers and they've hidden them somewhere. And you see the videos that we played earlier about people who were, telling us that some people had supplied the containers to them and they were using the materials in the containers and so on. So this finding doesn't align or tally with the earlier report that came out. I don't know. I don't know whether you'll be able to help us with this little confusion in our minds.
Yeah, it's a bit cumbersome.
Yes.
It's a bit confusing there because report taken area on suggests 2,400.
Yes.
And then the plus.
Yes.
And after the Commission of
the audit,
Independent Investigative Audit revealed 2,607.
Yes, so 637.
37.
Yes.
637. It means it has a difference of about 200 and something containers that were unclear. But, my brother, the question is, let's see ECG. I don't think in a day that they imported, just a day, that they imported 2,637 containers into this country.
Fact is, no. These were imported in batches.
In batches?
In batches, yes.
And then we have a administrative body.
Yeah.
The managing director descend down with his management. We have the board of directors who support the day-to-day administrative work over there. And now, if you look at their procurement system, as and when they intend to procure, it must show in their system or the books of records that they have that today we have procured this cap. Is at a port unclear. Tomorrow we have procured this bottle. Has also come to add up at the port unclear. Then the question is, why must it sit down to increase up to 2,337 containers unclear?
Yeah.
It's a question we need to ask ourselves. The people that we put them in charge, were they really worked? So trust me, if there has not been a change of government, would this thing come to the light for us to know or to not come? We wouldn't know about this. And for such a long time, it will never tell. It is the change of administration that the handover of the document, the minister decided maybe he saw something fishy and then wanted to conduct investigation into it. That has revealed into all this. And even if independent commission were not, constituted to look into this matter, the excess of about 200 and something would have not been retrieved. Do you get the point I'm trying to
I
make?
do.
Now, we have trusted people. We have put them as a management. We have handed the entire institution into their care. That they should take a good decision and to make sure that ECG progress. My brother, why all these containers are spiral is a question we need to ask.
Right.
And then brought these people in book to ask them that the duties that we assign to you to take charge as a manager. You sit down as a host to moderate this program that we are doing. If one or two reasons there's a quarrel between me and my brother that will result into assault, what do?
Right.
Okay? You steer in and control so that nothing of that sort do happen. We put a managing director there from 2000, and I don't know actually since when these containers 2637 started coming into Ghana. Okay, maybe it's from 2008, 2006, 2007. I don't know. I can't actually tell. Unless maybe we find out since when the procurement were done and this container started coming. And even if that is so, there were people that we put them in charge. And we are expecting that they will manage this. Okay? Now, having imported over 2,637 containers into this country, and you've been unable to clear them, accumulating demurrages and then poor charges that has gone high. Sometimes it's even higher than the, what do you call it? The duty that you're supposed to pay on the containers that were imported.
Okay.
Do you understand? What are we doing to ourselves as a Ghanaian? Do you understand?
Right.
So, in a nutshell, the minister, whether he's being misled with the quantities of the containers that were imported, or somebody there didn't tell him the truth or them. I trust and believe that there is a syndicate at ECG that we need to trace and then fish it out. If you couldn't do that, okay, maybe if you go to their procurement section, there is somebody in charge of the procurement that as and when we intended to procure container or other goods outside, records were taken. It goes through the management, and then before finally we approve for procurement.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know whether you may have heard this, but one of the issues that came up when this revelation came out was that the procurement unit of ECG had actually been merged by the estate unit of the same ECG.
Yes.
And it was one of the issues that John Jinapo raised and said it's for him is beggar's belief. Because
it's supposed not to be so.
Yes, because the estate unit has its own
work of doing.
Exactly. So and by merging it, what were you trying to achieve?
Yes.
And so it sort of weakened the procurement department of ECG.
Yes.
So just to add to the point that you made earlier, because you're raising issues with procurement.
You are right.
The challenges that they have with the procurement.
You are right. You are hosting a morning show.
Yeah.
Okay. And suddenly they say we are adding evening show to what you are doing.
Yeah.
So when the jingle come, you are, your jingle read the morning show. Whatever you do, Good Morning Ghana. And then in the next few minutes, another one will read Good Morning Evening, Good Evening Ghana.
Yes.
So the listeners, which one are they trying to listen? It caused disparity in the show. It's exactly what we are talking about. Merging procurement with estate. That they have a different collective work to do. Okay? If you made them, then the question is, we could ask, who did that? Under whose supervision that sat down for this thing to happen? Okay? These are all things that we are talking, we are referring to the previous administration, where things were not properly handled. And that has brought all this thing. I don't see the reason why somebody will sit down accusing this present government, a government which is less than 5 months, that you can say the government is not up to his toe or not checking things well. This government come, and as a matter of urgency, to see to the activities of ECG. Last time I checked, we had a meeting with them at the Pediasi Lodge, Pediasi Valley Resort.
Yes.
When they came, what they told us, they own, I think, about 63 billion Ghana cedis. Okay? And then in our conversation with them, I serve as a committee on energy. In our conversation with them, they mentioned one, I forgot, that they need to pay them $100 million. No, $100 million, I forgot the figure. They have to pay them. If they couldn't pay them, they will shut them down.
Which institution is that?
I forgot the institution. I will remember and I'll tell you.
Okay.
Now, ECG managing director was telling us. And ECG owned over 63 billion Ghana cedis. They have a lot of money with other institutions that they were not correcting. When I was checking, I got to know that Ghana Water Company owned them 15 million cedis that they've not corrected it. Do you understand?
Right.
So we put people in administration to manage the affairs of the institution that we have entrusted under their establishment. And then they go there and mess up things. They go there and do things any way they want. Can your company here, Metro TV, allow estate and procurement to merge? Whilst they have a different duties to perform. And so wherever sit down as at then, allowing ECG procurement department and then the what do you call it, estate department to merge must be brought to book. And I asked him a question, why he did that. Is the way they do that to, mismanage the affairs of the institution. And that has brought all this thing. Now, as we speak, we were told that the containers have got missing. Now, we've been able to retrieve 2,637 containers uncleared.
Yeah.
Okay. Since when that containers has been at the port uncleared? The management there, the board of directors there, we should ask them a question. If we've been able to raise money, and I trust that all this procurement, the full payment has been done.
Right.
So the supplier to us, we don't own him. But if we have been able to pay the full payment of 2,637 containers of cable metals that has been landed at our port and still sitting down unclear. My brothers and Ghanaians, are we serious? Are we serious? And we are taking this matter as a joke. The management and the managing directors and the board of directors who have steered affairs of ECG from some time to time must all be called back and ask a question about this. And we should ask them, if it is your own company, would you have done that?
Yeah.
If you can't do that to your own company, why is it that the nation have entrusted you and given you a position to handle that you can look at the interests of the nation? You mismanage things and that debt has accrued for ECG to pay.
Yeah.
Okay? As you sit down here, my brothers sit down here. Having spoke, then I don't know that he was coming from NPP.
Right.
I wanted him to come to NDC, but now he has shifted to NPP. Because if you look at his defense that he was defending minority, he's going to point out the minorities.
Maybe you make me your presidential candidate.
That's why I'm opting you to come, because I'm always looking for good people to come to NDC so that we can brainstorm and then move Ghana forward.
NPP is sweet.
All right.
You see, to come to conclusion, what I want to say is that these people who we have entrusted, okay, this entity into their hands, that they sat down to mess up all this stuff, must be brought into proof. For some time, you know, the demurrages and then the port charges were piling. Something was about 15-something million that ECG were not paying. But demurrages and the port charge kept increasing day by day. If you don't clear them today, tomorrow it will increase. If you don't clear them the next day, 3 days, it will be increased. Now, because they were unable to pay for these charges, all these containers are there. Okay? And the money used to procure this are for the state. So how do we sit down and then allow the nation to move on reckless way in the hands of some people that we have entrusted, giving them appointment to handle the position.
Okay.
So I'm of the view that we can go back and look for all this administration, those who steer affairs of it. Now, first we were told the containers have missing.
Okay.
Thank God we have retrieved them. If we have retrieved them, it comes with a different question. Now come and answer the reason why, under your care, these containers were procured into the country and remain unclear up to now.
All right.
Come and answer.
Okay. Ernest,
Oh,
what's your take on this?
I wanted to just start from one of the statements he made.
My statement is so sweet.
no.
I say come and join NPC.
ECG
Today, Honorable is doing
a
lot of campaigning and recruiting.
ECG did not collect their money, or the money wasn't paid. You know, they went as far as even there was a threat to even, I think, disconnect some hospitals.
Yes.
Hospitals. So it means they took very drastic action. They went to Parliament, shook their small.
Okay.
So they did what they could. If Ghana Water is not paying, it could be Ghana Water that is not paying, and it's not them who are not collecting. That one, I'm not just defending them, but this is what we know. These are the facts.
It's a suggestion, and I abide by that.
Yes,
so
but you will realize that, you see, measures are being taken, which I agree completely. What I heard is that all the state agencies, this is the third time I am hearing this. I heard this under His Excellency President Kufuor. I heard this one sometime, I don't know whether it was the Mills or the first Mahama and all that, and then Akufo-Addo. Then they are saying it again, that they are going to give prepaid meters to all state agencies, except essential services.
Yeah.
And if they don't do that, because if ECG collapses completely under debt, the biggest people, the people who owe the biggest, is government.
Yeah.
The companies, if Metro should be owing now, you will see the action they will come and do here. Disconnect you. They don't care whether you are on air or not.
Yeah.
But the agency or the institution that doesn't pay is there to ECG are mainly government. So now that he is in government, and I hear the minister and the chief of staff are taking certain steps to rectify certain challenges that we have had, and they should do it as fast as possible.
Right.
But this container matter, I beg to differ from my brother.
Okay.
Whenever the missing containers issue come up, the NDC raises questions of procurement.
Yeah.
Forget about procurement. Whether this thing is for me and I am eating it or not, does not mean somebody should steal it. It's not for you. It's still not for you. Even if I am not eating it, it belongs to ECG.
Yeah.
So nobody has the right to steal it. But in this case, in this instance, our brother Jinapo has hoodwinked the president twice.
Tell me why.
Before his appointment, he told us that we have some 5 hours or some. He gave us some gloomy picture. Everybody started running helter-skelter, including His Excellency the President. He immediately commissioned the Chief of Staff to have a meeting. We realized that, I didn't believe it. I think we were on a show here or in one of your and I didn't believe him. But he managed to twist the arm of the President to issue his appointment letter immediately. I think that was the aim. And then the Chief of Staff was giving so much headache when there was nothing like that. Then number 2, ECG, the number of containers, don't forget, I have all the letters here. The number of containers originally that he came to tell us that he found in the handing over notes was 3,000.
Yes. At the transition period.
Then he went and came back and said that he went to the port. And you remember we had an issue over this. I was telling you that the minister cannot tell me. Your defense was that he went to the port and somebody briefed him. But the actual thing that happened was that he said he was handing over notes of 3,000. He didn't believe it. So he went for fact-finding.
Yes.
He went on a fact-finding mission. How do you tell me I am minister and I went to the port to go and see for myself because I didn't believe the 3,000 number they gave me, and then I went to the port and somebody went to give me some briefing and I got back? You move the whole ministry, senior members of the ministry, move everybody, V8, state, my tax, bought fuel into them only for you to go and sit down for somebody to brief you. If you wanted briefing, why didn't you do it on phone or invite them to your office or 1 or 2 people and they brief you? So the minister had not been straightforward on this container matter.
Are you suggesting that his decision to go to the grounds and see things for himself?
No, that was the right thing to do.
Okay.
I gave you an example the last time that when Napo came, Napo received handing over notes from Her Excellency, now the Vice President, then Minister for Education, that said they had completed 50 e-blocks.
Yeah.
After verification, we realized that only 29 were verified. By then, Napo had taken the handing over notes to Parliament and had gone to speak that they have completed 50. He got to the ground. So when he said he was going to verify, for somebody like me, he was doing the right thing. And if I am the minister, I will do the same. So the point I am trying to make is that if I went on an honorable, if you went on a fact-finding mission, then you came to meet me because I was nicely dressed, so you would let me just tell you anything and you walk away. I don't believe that is what he should have done. But that was the explanation that they were bringing. And look, he didn't come to just come and sit maybe somewhere or granted some interview and say, he went on the floor of Parliament.
It was on the floor.
The House of Records, where the record you are taking there is supposed to be sacrosanct. And he went and made that statement. Then a short while later, you came back and said, no. The facts you have gone to check is 1,300. Please, reference the tape, the interview Dubik had on this matter. I don't know, I've forgotten where he had the interview.
Okay.
Dubik said he doesn't believe these containers have left the port. And they will be somewhere in the port. So whoever said he went to do the investigation didn't do it well. You know, Gapoha is managing the port.
Yes.
MPS is managing the port.
At it, I asked, before you talk about the people who are managing the port, I asked earlier about who were the people who were interviewed or interrogated or were questioned over the missing containers, because I just thought that if we had some more information as to what the committee had actually found, it will enrich the discourse. So, Annie is a very powerful woman. She's intercepted this document.
She's been able to pull
and so these are the persons that have been interviewed. And it says the following is a list of all the people interviewed at the various stages during the execution of these investigations. And so you have Kwame Pepeda, who's the acting managing director, Mr. David Asamoah, who's the deputy managing director. There's Mr. Samuel Tego, director procurement premises and estates. And then there's Yao Frimpong, who's the director materials and transport. There's Jacqueline Oforiata, director of engineering. Mr. Ben Dankwa, who's the director legal. Mr. Moses Oakley, who's the former acting director finance. And then there's Mr. Berlin. No, sorry, that's Mr. Okay, I've talked about Oakley. There's also Dr. Belinda Yabua Dramena, who's the director at customer service. There's Charles Obing, project planning, monitoring and evaluation. There's Eric Ansa Entry, director audit services. Engineer Abing Owusu Efriye, who is a director energy consulting and renewable energy. And there's also Eunice Nana Kwampa, who is a general manager, inventory management. There's Mr. Stephen Aite Mensah. Is Aite? Hello, Aite. Here. Aite.
Whichever way you call it.
Aite. Hello, Aite Mensah. He's the general manager, goods procurement. Yes, it is his department which has been measured the housing and estate unit. And there's also Mr. William Fianco Asari, manager, planning and inventory control. Mr. Emmanuel Anom Osafo, who's the acting manager, shipping. There's Mr. Joseph Okan, manager, workshop. Mr. Ransford Odro, manager, transport. Those are 18. And is that all? Okay, there's 19. Mr. Edwin Ahiable, who's the manager, traffic. Mr. Ebenezer Ado, manager, foreign goods procurement. Mr. Raymond Afari Sam, manager, local goods procurement. Mr. George Kwe, manager, materials and transports. Now, with the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, these were the people who were also interviewed. Now, Ms. Sandra Poku, director, ports. Mr. Seth Kofi Ansa Hagan, manager, operations. Now, with the Mint Logistics Limited, that's a private company. It said Ms. Rita Intri, who's the chief executive officer. I'm sure it's a freight forwarding company. I believe so. I think so. And there's also Ms. Rita Intri, who's so there's also Mr. Humphrey Homadzi, who's in charge of operations. There's Alhaji Audi Isaka, who is the liaison officer. There's Nana Kweku Abuaje, consultant, Mint Logistics Limited. Now, for the Dowart Bond Limited, you have Bernard N. Obuache, who's the chief executive officer, and also Edward Osei, in charge of operations. Annie, are we done? Okay, good. So this is what we have so far. So ask them when we get some more information.
Yeah,
but it tells you how extensive.
You could see that they have even interviewed the bond and,
Yes.
and the logistics I'm suspecting could be people who are clearing agents.
Oh, clearing agents, okay.
That's
or we
my
can kind of freight forwarding
They-
companies.
yes, they
Okay,
might be.
that's
the freight
fine.
forwarding company. But I was on this matter that
Yes,
the GPHA runs part of the port.
yes.
Then the MPS runs part of the port,
True.
right?
True.
And other places. Where did the minister go before he brought us that alarm?
Okay.
Who did he speak to? Because all these other, and then there are even private operators within the harbor.
Yeah.
Where did he go? So is he telling us that he wasted the whole day, went to walk around and did no work?
I'm not.
So the point here is, and after, you see, I became interested when Dubik granted that interview.
Okay.
Dubik said he doesn't believe that the containers have left the port. But they gave us the impression that they found some of these containers outside. In fact, there were rumors, and anytime you meet the NDC guys, they shall go and arrest Afenyomaki. He was board chairman. And you remember, I asked this question on your show, that if I bring my car to the harbor, I couldn't clear my car. So you confiscated the car. Now I have brought the money. And the car is not there. You say I should go and ask my father. It doesn't make sense. So all the things that the minister was sending to us were not adding up. Especially when the people said, we left 3,000 containers. You don't believe there are 3,000 containers. You sent fact-finding mission. And then when they come back, you come and tell us that the private contractors who are involved, you didn't ask them anything. In fact, the importers of these materials, you didn't ask them anything. Gapoha, whatever, then you raise an alarm. Now the containers they have found, total number of containers found now is 2,000.
2637.
Yes, I think so.
2637.
I picked the numbers. So let me. The total number discovered now is, in fact, what they are holding is 2583.
Okay.
2583. So if the containers went to different parts and they were moved, maybe because, you know, when you bring your goods and you are not able to clear and demurrage starts, they move it to a different place to create space for more goods to come. Why didn't he do all this work before he comes to raise the alarm?
Okay.
Mainly because he is prejudiced. Somebody told you there are 3,000 containers. You didn't find out. You went to find out, you brought a different. He's prejudiced. The mindset is what is bringing us
Are you
here.
suggesting
if you
that
remember,
Jinapo spoke too soon?
not
But that's
he
why.
spoke too
But that's
soon.
why
He
he said.
came with a mindset. That,
What's that mindset?
The mindset is that, there are some people that they have mismanaged the country and they have stolen from the country and we must bring Ora to get them arrested. I am telling you what you people, your mindset is.
What does the mean of that?
So
mindset?
because of that, I am seeing this bottle. I'm saying because I believe that Moro will steal this bottle. I'm asking Moro, where is the bottle? The bottle is on the table. Dubik said, the things are in the harbor. I'm telling you, you can play that interview. He said they are in the harbor. He believes.
But
I asked you once. I don't believe a whole container, not one, not two, not 100, thousands of containers will drive out of the harbor, and nobody will know. You remember the cartoons of containers flying and all that I saw in newspapers and all that.
But here's the thing. If the transition report that was handed over to the sector minister says we have 3,000 uncleared containers at the port, And now,
This
based
according
on
to Jinapo. We haven't seen the report. He himself
you mean of the
said,
transition report?
yes, I haven't seen it.
I doubt he would lie about the transition report.
No,
because that would
what
have been
I'm
public
saying is
knowledge.
I want us to put it in perspective.
Okay, he said, okay.
That's according to him, because so, of the conversation we are having.
Right, that's fine. That's fine. So if John Jinapo tells us that 3,000 containers was what was contained in the report, okay, that he received from the transition team, and now, of course, like you said, he followed up, went to the port. Yes, it's a legitimate question we're asking. Where exactly did he go and who did he speak to?
Of course.
Right? And why did he decide to play back what the person had informed him, which was that it was only 2,000, it's all above 2,400, I think 2,437 or so. Right? Why did he decide to go public with that number? It's also a legitimate question. But here's the thing. Out of 3,000 containers that were said to have been contained in the transition report, we now have 2,637. It means there's still some more containers
to be looked for.
To be looked for, you know. Anyway, so that's for me is a rhetorical question.
I'll
just take 30 seconds of your time. I beg you. You're watching Good Morning Ghana.
So this is Nsema Urano editor Ibra and Unya Butrena Tmasinotia. Ninsema Okanina. It doesn't make any sensible conclusion here. And one is Asemaba. Asemaba. They just want to talk about it. Omo person mo can be keke. Omo person mo yedin e can be keke. The Martin is a Wontumi. He has been rearrested. He has been rearrested. Makacho se Wontumi obeko jail 51 million Ghana cedis biso. Meaning say dollars or cedis are stand to be corrected. Fraud be asha say man home so e wo Wontumi aso ye. Me say Wontumi ebeko prison. Wontumi ebeko prison. Wontumi I was saw them for about 2 or 3 years be no mu say sebi enkofo ayo mu take advantage of a omu bu omo sebi nipa hunu na omu sisi omo eji omu japade omu so nipa te so omo a NPP for we say omo ko sehwia ameka so mkiro ti ama sehwi Western region ama omu nsa asai pa because of galamsey nti eye omo kwa omo di sika ketuwa bi a omo calculate a ye ni na no omo kokuo no omo benya abrosa but no more the half of it amomo no ma promise omo say gold no omo tu wi a omo be mo omo bi na omo so e de aye omo ho yie oye kuani na omo be kan sa asem we kire wa abusiafo oho be ye ode last time na man bi kan asem bi kire me okoko ewo odi ko western bunu region ho side nkrakwanta minim se mo munim ho nkrakwanta ba bi sa na asema man ni kan ni se nkofo binum eye so mail adwuma omo twa nnua ton papa no so okyeremu a o nnua bebre ewo na afuom na omo ba ne nkyɛn sɛ omo betwa nnua no na omo asi dan ama no na omo atɔ car na ka ho timber locks almost 20 even more than that timber locks almost 20 even more than that omo twa nnua ni wie ya ato so omo besi dan ama na omo kofa just 10,000 edition nsɛm eka kyerɛ ne sɛ onji wei na omo bɛyɛ den omo bɛhyɛ asɛsi dan na ama no. Have you ever asked yourself, so mo ka so mbesi dan ama do you have asase a mbesi esi so? You see, some of these esikafo no dwen sɛ ya na hiafo no binom sɛ bi adwen ni omo tiremu they just come and deceive you Didn't American assassin me a chama Wontumi ne nkrofo MPP galamsey campaign for chama Wontumi kwaje concession ana ochichema nkrofo yemisa say adien effrontly adien ana chama Wontumi wa obetimi edi akoye national chairman ibishaw. How can Chama Wontumi be a national chairman of New Patriotic Party? Ibisamo Chama Wontumi be the national chairman of New Patriotic Party. Yewura Kufuor Same crab ni na so motiase. Yewura Professor Dubois party no. Ene Chama Wontumi esan galamsey e wonya sika amana buruso ntino. O say obedi national chairman because or in his own capability no and in his own mind no onim say ono oninimdie oni certificate apart from ne odi call ni seminary school ne pastor school no wie ya no nye adwumanya alam ko de mantin so ne nsa edi wu politics ma wie yi alam bomia ye no onim say sa certificate no ne when you ska kan ho no de ko ba bia he will be what glorified. Ikesi den na Wontumi etime ba abonti be declare intention to contest Stephen Ayensu team. Stephen Ayensu team, almighty Stephen Ayensu team. Then time 2013, 2014, me ti Stephen team di ana me ho ye me bibi say. So almost of a bono region baby, one fear baby. Stephen Ayensu team, utin dinya, Stephen team. Sa na then time I was Wontumi. And then because of Wontumi, ono na no ochiche concession. Ono na no ochiche galamsey nsase ntino. And then he has the effrontery to say obetimi ayede edi NPP national chairman. NDC for monfa no tum ne record ne say. Mate so say NPP NDC for di ne tum kra na oba be di national. Awuja for chairman Wontumi ayo bi a eni kwan say mo NPP for mo man kwan man be di party nanim. Do you know say obi be chairman of group bi a automatically no the party belongs to the person. Do you know that? Chairman Wontumi in his own wisdom no say he has not yet reached that position. Wontumi in his own wisdom and capability on him say onye do that position no, and even when he deserve it kana omo de man ontimi nye adwuma or the sika and obe influencing nkrofo. That is why ene Wontumi ni abede or say NDC for chinitum and the kobako be teacher. Now, who be the chairman NDC for the for more ben? Ubeyo national chairman of New Patriotic Party NDC for 4 more. Now, we national chairman. I use strategic more than I say don't get ya. In team grant me say don't get ya. Which am I want to me? No, which am I want to me? I say don't get ya. Almighty, I say don't get ya. MPP for cross no. MPP for suruno. Ono kra no se wantimi amede wantimi amameye oni Stephen Timothy ni nsi akanya. How can you chairman? You see some of these things in yet na ye ayana me yes MPP for mbemo mo kwan ama such personality abidi party in that manner because automatically no we are national chairman of the party na wo ena party isi unan so wo ena regulate party no so mbeko election so mbe denyo wo ena wo yeden o hwe party no so as even flag bearer craba Chama Wontumi sika wo wia concession bebrebe a ogigi ni kurom ha na otonton bi mankofo na week ogigi allowances na no because of say opese obey national chairman or because of say opese obey for party MPP ebonebo nipa yeti matena santimamu aka so won kingdom or the police or the army or the palace Utimi tena santima mu eka so wo kingdom wo police wo army wo palace and ediem bi na aka so obeji position as national I mean new patriotic party na job obeji abobo na why den afedi we di asante force. That is all that Chama Wontumi is seeking for. It MPP for more better now Chama Wontumi aye and this for mundi kan jeli no na MPP for munye den mon kanta cross him mo mani meye because if this illiterate, ignorant person will ever hear MPP more national chairman, things are gonna happen, and there is no way you people you can come to power. Because pasana ebia baby me papa kredi japo binya kunya bidi party enim. Ba we won say Chama Wontumi na why national chairman. Party ne power da. Oye den oye campaign say den party ne power da. Unim wa hwe na oye Asante regional chairman no or head the voter record in the last 2 elections. Eti ye kan okra kirew Wontumi wa ye Ghana boni wa konkrofo ho no makwa dada omo wakọ dada akuafo binom wo sehwe agigi omo nsase se o to good and oni omo be den ono mo be share at the end of the day no osane mo kan kofo ni hu and once wasesa ne mo afiri ho no. It is such personality no. He need to be jailed, he need to be prosecuted. Osembra any retas, osembra any ekwa kuturuku. And this are oh my Ghana. Ijai sa kwa wi mane na nko be say ensase na nsuo ne nsase a enkofo afudie asai e Washington region na no ejina Wontumi so call akonta mine and odi nsamfu and owura a virgin forest and all say niema Wontumi kan kwa nkyere no. NDC for the ball is in your court. One fee na moma ni gifri mu sese. Ghana for nye ne mo beye no. Even MPP for na nkase bi ema tip off say yen jeli Wontumi because Wontumi asel mine no. Yes. And the MPP for na bi o ne call for na bi na ema tip off national security ekwo ni fee ekohwe ya government vehicles mako watwe ene gu ni fee aden oton ana oye den ana ye de government car free amro ne ba wona ye be bo plate ni wo fee. You see this man, he is arrogant, criminal, illiterate, empty headed. Unim hwe ni trim or the katashe any sebi adwombone and a real politician and or say MPP and at the same time or say Ghana ka. It MPP for munyinima and DC for MPP for munye den mun fetching out munyim hum film na mu jeli Wontumi no hu ampa bibi wo hono oto no ka che mahama sai ono ba Asante nyade o siki permission ne wo na hye ho ene wo na wo hye ho ene Wontumi wo na hye ho wo ye hu hwe nyi enti abusafo saa na ade no etie ma memfa wonsi mesro so subscribe na wa like na wa share na foforo nyi bi hwe hanom eyo number 1 authentic platform Mega TV gusua SM the best of news yakupon yadma ebise sha me ma mechi ba afo yakupon shirawo yakupon yo kese ma me roye bi yakupon shirawo me bi ahwe Mega no I salute you yakupon shirawo bye bye.